Yay! Uh, so welcome to an impromptu recording of a serendipitous deck. I can't even say the name of this thing. Serendipitous deck sermon. I'm workshopping different names because I don't know that they're turning out to be like sermons. Any hoops. The 7th came around very quickly. I had wanted to put up a video yesterday, which would have been Sunday. Yes, today is Monday, the 8th of January, and I got a whole bunch of energy back after having made an application for a job that I'm very excited about. And so I'm also moved to Ireland again. I'm back in a parent's house, and specifically my mother's, and I am reorganizing, throwing stuff out, like, from all the eras of my life. And every time I move back in, I kind of do a version of that, but this is like the clearest and most focused that I've ever been on where I'm going in life, and also the most accepting of like the moment that I'm in. So it doesn't feel the same as before, because sometimes I've come in and just like thrown a whole bunch of stuff out because I'm like, I'm done with that phase, let's go. And there's been not phases, but like just many versions of Megan, because one thing that is always constant is change, and man, do I live that truth. And in going through the stuff, right, and I have been good at not sitting down and reading all the old letters or whatever it is this kind of time, because I know pretty much what's here now. What I did end up finding, though, was a card of the artwork of, I should have checked, shoot. This might be a little bit erratic because I am very excited, like I've just been dancing all day, and I even went for a run to try and use up some of the energy. It didn't work. I think it just excited me more. But yeah, I thought that I would pass on some of that to someone who might need it, because like, it's not like anything massive has come through except for like, I woke up today. You know, that's awesome. There's food in the fridge. That's even more awesome. Like, I'm safe. I'm well. I'm healthy. I'm able to go for a run. I really, like, yeah, those things are absolutely worth being grateful for every single minute of every day. Even the ability to feel gratitude is something I'm grateful for, because without my human form, that wouldn't necessarily be something that I know. I don't know enough about the other forms and how they feel and such. So I'm not going to speak on that for them, but there was an artist that was living, I'm assuming in Mosier, but maybe passed through Mosier at the time. Like, this is the town that I lived in Oregon. And Lea, they are from, well, in this note says Spokane, but they're an artist that owned Unfinished Human Etsy. Oh, now there's a different name on the bottom of this. Okay, I will link their shop underneath. That's what I'll do for them, so I'm not putting the wrong name or putting the whatever. But they did tarot designs, and look at the back of this, it's so beautiful. Oh, all the colors. And then it says, oh, it looked like it said words. I see love here. But I think they're just little swirly designs as well. That's beautiful. And I got it in one of these things. Damn, this light has a squishy thing. Oh, look, yeah, Lee, here for the winter, Spokane. Anyway, I'm not gonna like dox them. Not that that necessarily is a word that applies. No, I think it just applies in general, right? Okay, this is what I mean by erratic. I am not in any way prepared, but I also felt like, oh, I kind of wanted to have uploaded something. Get to the card, Megan. Okie dokie, let's go. It's a 7 of Pentacles. And 7s have been like really prominent around, not like I keep seeing them, more like I have just, not in a way like grown out of the number 7, but it's like I saw it a lot in the last while. And in a previous stage that I was in of growth, I was in a house number 5. And then at the end of the last trip that I just did, I was in a house number 7. You know, I like to be aware of those sorts of things. And it's not always specific to like, oh, the house number that I'm in now with an 8 and a 4 would make it 12, right? Yep. And then that's 3, and that's its own thing, but it's also literally been the number house that we've lived in since I was maybe 10. We moved a few times after we left my dad's pats. Anyway, so there was like a little writing with it, and I figured that might be nice to share. And then this is the artwork that this person has done. Is it going to focus? I've gotten a new stand as well, so thank you to my brother for the stand that this is now on. And I have a writing desk that I'm I mean, it's the desk that was here since I was a child. But now I'm not avoiding doing the homework. I'm really excited to have a space to like work in and stuff like that. So yeah. 7 of Pentacles, element Earth. What are you working on? What is it worth? This card takes stock of the places you've been, your long-term goals, and the state that they are in. Oh, I think it rhymes. Okay, I'll keep going. This journey is best suited to those who have heeded. When change is afoot and a pivot is needed. Oh, my brain is so happy. Keep up the hard work. You can't know what's coming. This is the wild, true work of becoming. Trust the creative in you to be here. Do what sustains you. You will persevere. Amidst all your wonder of where you might go, don't forget to look at what you already know. There is a pause in the midst of to and a from. There is joy in realizing how far you have come. So maybe that's by Marie Broadway as it being a poem, and then the artwork. Yeah, and I got this as a gift in 2020 when I worked at a little coffee shop in that town. Yeah. I will say something about all the places, all the things, all the places I've been. Oh my god, is that person wearing rollerblades as well? How awesome. Yes. Little bracelet. I had started noticing this though. As much as I also noticed other people would like arrive. Oh, I'm sorry. We also have a question mark. And someone who's like, I feel like very settled in the pose that they're in, and they're like taking stock and also prepared for more and wondering what's next and stuff. So that artwork is really, really beautiful. And we have like a rising or setting. I think it's a rising sun from the vibe. Yeah. Lots of beautiful stuff in that. So yeah, I will link their page. Hopefully it's still running. Or maybe they're off Etsy and I will then find that and link that. It's just that it says that it's on an Etsy here. But yeah, I notice time and again, and it may not always be my role, but it's like I arrive somewhere and I be me. And then I can't help but see truths that are like not necessarily acknowledged by all of the people that like live in that town or in that workspace or in that whatever it is. And I used to call people that would, and I'd witness this, right? Like I lived in a place and then someone moved into the place, and then upon their arrival, not because of anything that they specifically did, they're just being themselves. And it was like, actually it was a certain presidency that I also realized was sort of like linked to this in a certain way. It was around the era that I found out about this. So there is this solution called Ficasol, like a chemical solution, and it's something that I got to use in a vet practice when I was doing a vet's assistant job, and I saw them use it. They taught me how. And so you mix up puppy poop with the Ficasol, and then you let it sit for a while, and then all the shit that you need to see rises to the top. Literally, it's feces, fecal salt, right? Or Ficasol, whatever. And then you put a slide, for under a microscope on top of the stuff that has rise to the top. And therefore then you can take the slide away, do a little cover of it, and then you can look at what it is that you need to see under the microscope in case there is any illness within the puppy or whatever. It's like a normal thing that you do on like a puppy appointment, or maybe a kitten one as well. But anyway, I just think certain events happen in our lives and certain people maybe go through an being famous, whatever it is. And in the time period that they are like around, or anything is whatever it is, they end up in a way being a ficosol. They like their, what's the word? Their presence. Oh, it was 111 when I said that. Their presence allows the shit that needs to be seen rise to the top so that we can all now see. And it's not like that person's fault. They didn't make the shit happen. It's more just like no one was looking at it before, no one could see it, whatever the case may be. And I'm also realizing like, oh, funny I came up with that analogy, because I also think I've accidentally done a little bit of that, like just with my existence in certain places. And, you know, I easily move. I do very well in new spaces, and moving, and like new frames of mind if it's not a physical move and stuff like that. Like change is a comfortable space for me in a way, because not like, you know, still human here. And not that this has anything specifically to do with the card. I'm not going to make a connection purposely. It's more just like, that is the one massive lesson that I learned from like being in the town that I was when I got this card given to me. And I think it's a really beautiful thing. In a way, it's not always like we could compare it to Ficosol. It's also like someone that's being a mirror. And usually you only see a certain reflection like when you're ready to understand it, or maybe like just before you're ready, is what I've kind of also heard about, like your manifestations or things that you've been waiting for and wanting for may come like a little bit before you're ready, which is how some of us I think end up kind of reverting to an old, you know, pattern of then self-sabotaging something that is offered to us, rather than, and that's, it's just the to and fro of things, not to be hard on yourself about or anything, but it's like we have this idea that we're going to be like the ready version of ourselves when something comes around or whatever, and that's not always the case. Yeah, anyway, that's a whole lot of just like information for you, and hopefully you found something in it that is like helpful, or at least just allows you to be seen, or yeah, anything that helps, I guess. Or that shows you shit that you weren't seeing before. And then what do you do with it? Oh, it actually does fit in with the card. What do you do with the bits that you now know about? And then what is next? And like, yup, beautiful. Okay. Well, thank you, universe. Thank you, Earth, for having us. Thank you to every guide and guardian that stands over and around any human being at this time. And thank you to the human beings that are being here, regardless of whether they're aware of the fact that they chose to be or not, because I'm grateful for all y'all's existence. And for my own.